Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode 333. Excuse me. This is the one we're reviewing episode number 1091, Brimming with the Future, an adventure in the Island of Silence, and chapter 1104, which I'll discuss that soon. So, this episode basically adapts from pretty much almost the entirety of chapter 1062, all but the last 2 pages of it. So we have a couple different settings here. Let's first start with the rest of the Straw Hats, because a lot of Luffy still takes a good chunk of the episode. So the Straw Hats basically are talking to Vegapunk 2, Lilith. Actually, it's Sheikah. Yeah. So basically, she says, I'm not Sheikah. Her name is Lilith. She's the evil Vegapunk. Like, hey, I'm Vegapunk. I want to invade your crew because you guys are an emperor. And then, of course, Sheikah, the good one, who's number 1, says, don't do that because their captain's the emperor. And, of course, basically, like, you can't attack him because basically they have run over Zoro. And of course, which he still calls her Demon Child Nika Robin, despite the fact that I'm surprised that still to all this period of time that Robin has never told anybody, don't call me that, because that's not... People call that because she has a devil power. That's why I call her a demon child. And also because the fact that her mom was an archaeologist who dared to study pornoglyphs. And in fact, her mom looked exactly like her, except that she's actually like got a different hair color. Yeah. So, like, oh yeah. And by the way, Robin looks like... I think Robin is wearing the same pink coat that she... I think this is the same coat that she got from Punk Hazard. I think so. Yeah, not the first time they've been in a snowy area because they really like this Punk Hazard as well. So, like, and Zoro tells Shiki that I have some demands to make. And he's like, sure, no problem. I'm just in that crew. And that's it. That takes like the first half of the episode. The rest of the half is like you have Luffy, Chopper, Bonnie, and Jinbei, where they're basically asking, oh, you've been here before? Yeah, when I was a child. She's still kind of as a child because she's 12 years old. Well, they really up later. So, and one thing I do got to admit, basically, this change basically was very good because so it talks about her father. Now in the manga, it says you can clearly see her in her head. It's Kuma. In the anime, they don't show that at all because they don't want to spoil the surprise. Yes, they have in the manga, so her father basically turned her aside. We're like, oh, that's cool. It's like, no, that's not cool. And eventually they reach like a ladder, they climb up, and then we see the future island. And it seems as though that this animation that looks like different from when we saw Wano. Like, this is like completely different, and we see like a dragon fighting a robot. Luffy tries to punch it, doesn't work. Like, oh, look, it's a parfait, and it's not really a parfait. And then we come across basically another one of the Vegapunks. Vegapunk, I think it's 3, I think it is. Atlas, the giant one. Luffy thinks she's not real, so he ends up hitting her. So her response is to hit him back twice. And then hit what looks like to be like a food dispenser. But she first was an automatic cooking machine. And what comes out is a hamburger with fries. Yeah, but the size of it looks like a quarter pounder. Yes, but without the cheese. So Bonnie knows what it is because she knows the smell. Of course, they all eat it. Of course, they eat all the foods. Jamie, I thought it was so funny. He hides a freaking drumstick. The fact that he's like, oh, I'm fine. And he reveals who she is. Like, and she reveals he's Vegapunk. Like, wait. And of course, yeah, the line here. Kobe said you have a big head. Yeah. And of course, he ends up punching the holographic dragon. Yep. And the episode ends kind of there-ish. But absolute really good episode. Now, if you're curious, we still have to wait a little bit for the debut of Vegapunk. Yes. Because they brought up Vegapunk as the, like, information core, which I love the fact that in the last 2 episodes they actually brought this in because it seemed as though since they started this arc officially 2 episodes back, like, I love these things, and I think this is good information for people with a series. You can use some clips here. It's only like just a minute, just like 1 minute, and like that's it. It's just Chopper and Robin talking over this stuff. Like first it was Sabo, I think last week was Bonnie a little bit, and here it's basically all out Vegapunk. And we get flashback to whenever he was separated back during the separation stuff prior while MSLA was going on. Yep, but great episode came up for next week. Which, it looks like we're finally going to see the first appearance of their official attires they're going to wear throughout this whole arc. Which, that happened in the very next chapter. Which, now, given what I saw at the end of the chapter, it's probably, for myself, to a trailer, I don't think it's going to be adapted next week. I'm probably going to skip it for later. Who knows? But yeah, can't wait for next week. Alright, so next up is basically chapter 1104. Thank You, Daddy. Where you have a cover story is basically, you have Sanji witnessing basically a rat couple get engaged. Though the female rat looks a lot like Princess Sherry from... Yeah, so see opposing, of course, we see Kurama, he ends up punching him really hard. What is this, Vegapunk? He should be dead. Every time he took away Kuma, I pressed 7 shark sequence, huh? And hands up, punch him really hard right in the face. Ouch! And sends him flying. Like, Saint Saturn! Ends up knocking some buildings over. Look at the town. What's happening? Kuma did this. He punched one of the 5 emperors. The highest in the world. Bull crap. It's Inca. Right, because Saint Saturn at once. Historical atrocity. And then we see, looks like we have Bonnie reunited with Bartholomew Kuma. And of course, Vegapunk's saying, what happened? I didn't attach a self-destruct switch. I have turned into a bomb. I would never use a suicide weapon. I attached a shutdown switch to you. And of course, you have it where Bonnie reunited with her father. That was not the girls who were tyrant. I know Daddy the Karen. Yep. And then you have Saint Santa. He's like very angry. Vegapunk, how do you explain this? Was you're doing? Well, I suppose you look at it that way. You can call it the power of love, you feel. I see it as a flaw in human form and error in programming. Farewell, I have no more use for you, for your men. Hey, how come his body's regenerating? And it looks like he's about to stab one of his spider legs, and Sanji kicks it. And then, of course, you have Frankie firing like a tree you developed very well. Radical beam. Looks like he fired it right through Saint Siren's body. You know what you're going, Frankie. Looks like he's about to get kicked. Back of the head. Then he's blocked. And you see Atlas carrying basically Kuma. And of course, Kozura basically like, you have no heart. Yeah, and then all of a sudden the chapter ends with this shocking cliffhanger. The Buster Call has been activated. The island's declared a threat to the world government. All ships prepared for bombardment. Burns to the ground in the name of justice. And Saint Siren says, those who study the secrets of the world, who possess the blood of lost people, those who awaken an ancient god, this island of inconceivable people must be eradicated. I'm like, a Buster Call? This is probably the first time that a Buster Call has been activated in this series since Enies Lobby. I mean, yes, we have Buster Call in One Piece Stampede, but in the main story, this is the first time since Enies Lobby the Buster Call has been activated. But damn, what a shocking cliffhanger. Loved it. 10 out of 10. Okay, so that's episode 2. Next episode, My Hero Academia. Okay, next video. Bye.